Yo guys, and on today's video I will be going over a multi-month consolidation phase for Bitcoin where we are very close for a breakout, what could be leading towards massive gains in towards 2023 here. As well, we'll be talking about my most favorite metrics that is currently showing and indicating that Bitcoin is definitely ready for another potential run up towards the upside from here on. So this and much more will be getting discussed on today's video. Make sure to slap up that like button. If we can reach 500 likes, it will be absolutely amazing. And with that being said, guys, let me jump right away in towards the content. But first of all, guys, before I'm going to go in towards this multi-month consolidation phase for Bitcoin and over my most favorite indicators, what I definitely think you should stick around for, because that is definitely the most important part of today's video, I will be talking about the symmetrical triangle Bitcoin is currently creating. Because this is of course spelling up a very good trading opportunity for Bitcoin. Like you can see, yesterday we came down. We are still holding on towards the support line towards the upside, and so far Bitcoin just continuously keeps on bouncing from the lower side and of course continuously gets rejected from the higher side. We are clearly in a consolidation phase, and what will be the very nice part about it, since this pattern has been showing a lot of significance, we could be trading it very well towards either the upside or downside. If Bitcoin is going to be breaking out, we're going to have a very heavy price target either towards the upside or downside. And right now I will be showing you guys my price targets I'm currently looking at. So if Bitcoin is in case going to go for a breakout towards the upside, we could be looking for an approximately price target somewhere around the 34.5 thousand US dollars. And of course, to be exact, if we're going to be breaking bullish, we could be looking for an approximately 15% move towards the upside. I should say 14% move towards the upside. That is of course an incredible move you could be taking, and that is going to be spelling a lot of opportunity for you guys out there. As well, there is a potential that we're going to be breaking down, and you could also take a trade towards the downside. Of course, my target where I will be cutting my losses on the lower side, or sorry, where I will be looking to take profits on the lower side, is going to be 26.2k, but of course the initial price target is going to be trading on 25,000 US dollars. If you are interested in trading, make sure to check out the link in the description, because here you can see we have got several exchanges that are right now providing insane bonuses, guys. And while the market is down, while we are seeing Bitcoin trading below 30k, make sure that you're going to be benefiting from the bonuses, because yeah, this is the time that you should be benefiting from the more cheaper Bitcoins to be buying them, in my opinion. So if you're interested on signing up on any of these links here to claim your free Bitcoin, make sure to do so. Definitely worth to do so right now. Then further in towards the content, we can clearly see Bitcoin, of course, just is still consolidating, and we're just waiting till we're going to get a breakout. And how we'll be approaching this trade here, and how we'll be trading this, is that as soon as Bitcoin does decide to be breaking out and goes for the retest, I want to be entering my long position, or once it does break down and goes for a retest, I would like to enter my short position. Because of that, if you're going to be approaching it in that way, you will be basically have the least amount of risk on Bitcoin, and you will be having the most certainty of course, catching a good entry point for your trade. So with that being said, this is of course looking very interesting. We are currently heading in towards the weekend. The weekends could be of course a little bit more boring for Bitcoin, and of course if Bitcoin does decide breaking out on the weekend, yes, it could be of course having a little bit of a worse effect, and it could be showing potentially some more fake outs, because usually on the weekends Bitcoin could be a little bit choppy. So please be careful with over the weekends for Bitcoin. But still, I will be mainly look at the symmetrical triangle on the market right now. Then going in towards a very important topic, and it's basically talking about the realized loss here. And guys, if we're going to look at this chart, I've been discussing it several times before. As you can see, every single time the realized losses spikes, and I will be explaining what this is of course telling us, once it spikes, it tends to be a good buying opportunity, because always after such big of a spike, usually we tend to be seeing a big price increasement following afterwards. The realized loss is basically telling us the total loss in US value of all coins who does price their loss movement higher than the current price of movement. So if you bought your Bitcoins, let's say on 10,000 US dollars here, and you sold it on 4,000 US dollars, you are part of that realized loss. And that is why once people are selling against the loss, it has historically been seen as a very good buying opportunity, because once many investors selling against the loss here, it usually shows us there is extreme fear in the market, and Yeah, like we do know, once there is very high fear in the market, it usually tends to be a pretty good buying opportunity because yes, we have been touching that single digit level of 8 in the fear and greed index, and the last time we had that reading was all the way back in March 2020, what was also of course while Bitcoin was trading on only 3,000 US dollars, what was only one of these large spikes in the realized loss here. Of course, there was less money in circulation, so that is why the spikes are becoming higher right now. At the same time, this is one of the most interesting charts to be looking at. This is the percentage of supply lost active with 1+ year ago. This chart is telling us basically, yeah, how much percent of the supply is not being active for 1+ year. And of course, what we do know, the longer you don't touch your Bitcoins, the more likely you're going to become a long-term holder. And of course, I talk about the long-term holder for someone who holds through a whole cycle, so 4 years. So this metrics is basically telling us the chance of, many of these people already panic selling over here is small here. And that is why I'm very excited about Bitcoin right now. We have only flashed this high signal basically 4 times before. The first time it happened in 2013. Bitcoin moved up already from approximately $13 all the way up towards $900. Here, back in January 2016, it moved up from $400 all the way up towards approximately 17,000 US dollars. Here, back in after the pandemic crash here, we saw approximately a ratio of 62%, and we moved up from 10,000 US dollars towards 69,000 US dollars. And right now we're trading on 30k, and we're once again setting new all-time highs. And of course, like you can see, always once we're setting these new all-time highs, and look at these differences between the last time and this all-time high, right? This is of course clearly a big indication there could be of course a potential huge run up because sell pressure is going to run out here, and not many of these crypto investors are actually going to still sell their Bitcoin. That is of course the part I love about it. Then talking also about this very other interesting chart, the daily time frame for Bitcoin, we're still looking at this massive consolidation pattern. Bitcoin is just trading in a massive falling wedge here. A falling wedge is a typical bullish bias pattern. And talking about a falling wedge here, we could also look at this larger scale time frame, guys. We could be looking at this monthly time frame. And if I'm going to look at the monthly time frame, I set up these vertical lines here. These are basically the halving events here, and always after a halving event, Bitcoin tends to be rallying. But also do notice that if I'm going to zoom out, Bitcoin always created these massive multi-month consolidation patterns, and it always broke out bullish so far. It always broke bullish and of course continued in a massive rally towards the upside, right? We can see right now on the market once again, Bitcoin is creating one of this very interesting multi-month consolidation phase. And this multi-month consolidation phase is where the big money is made. And if I'm going to zoom in here, we can clearly see last time around we formed a symmetrical triangle. Basically always we have been forming a symmetrical triangle. And right now we're starting to be forming a very interesting falling wedge. And of course you could be potentially also approaching like, oh yeah, we could be starting to form somewhat of a symmetrical triangle from here on right now, and Bitcoin could fall a little bit lower. Potentially true, yes, but I don't really like that scenario. This is of course a falling wedge what we're currently looking at, and a falling wedge is a typical bullish bias Bitcoin reversal pattern. And if you don't know already, guys, and I did tweet it about it here on my channel, a falling wedge here is a typical bullish bias pattern, and you can clearly see a falling wedge is always got created in the past from, of course, a from an uptrend here. You create an uptrend, you form this consolidation phase, then you're going to look for the next leg up here. And that is exactly what we're currently doing. Bitcoin is forming just a massive falling wedge on the monthly time frame, and I am a huge fan of this pattern, and I personally am expecting the Bitcoin, maybe not today of course, I'm also saying not tomorrow, but in towards Q3 and Q4 of 2022, we are going to be experiencing positive price action for Bitcoin. So guys, make sure to wrap your seatbelts because this is very interesting to see. At the same time, if I do open the RSI, I can clearly see something other interesting very interesting popping up right now here, because if I'm looking at the RSI, I can see that Bitcoin is trading back in this low risk zone here. I will be making this yellow from now on so you guys can see it a little bit more clear, but we can clearly see on this yellow region we have always historically been bouncing the hardest, and Bitcoin is right now creating a multi-month consolidation phase, and at that same time it is back in these lower stages. And let me make this correctly so I can make up a very good view for you guys out there. This is the yellow period. It was trading in this box on the RSI. This was the yellow period. It was trading on the box on the RSI, and also the very small touch on this candle all alone here back in the pandemic crash. Guys, this is a massive opportunity. Bitcoin is back in this low risk accumulation stage here. It is forming a multi-month consolidation phase, and I am personally thinking we're going to be having a massive breakout. If you're also going to talk about a price target of such kind of a breakout, you could be taking two approaches. You could be, of course, take the approach of the, of course, impulsive move towards the upside from the point of the breakout will be causing Bitcoin to be heading up towards $225,000, or you could be, of course, approach it from a low risk perspective. If we're going to be breaking out, we're going to trade it towards the top side of the pattern, and that basically means that Bitcoin is going to go for the approximately $69,000 target, what is already a 107% increasement towards the upside. So yeah, guys, this is definitely a very interesting thing playing out for the Bitcoin price action right now, and hopefully you are going to do something interesting with this information. If you did enjoy the content, don't forget to smash up the like button, guys. If you are interested in trading, check out the link in the description. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.